served as an explosive expert with the Marine Special Operations Command. During his deployment in support of Operation Enduring Freedom, he trained host nation forces in explosive offense and defense. After separating, he pursued advanced degrees in chemical engineering, energetic chemistry, and business so he could make a more sizable contribution to the community he served. A current Pat Tillman Scholar at UCLA, Zayshan is furthering his research as a doctoral student in materials chemistry. Zayshan's goals is to develop a business that focuses on research, development, and training for military personnel. Ladies and gentlemen, Zayshan Parvez.
Thank you, Colonel Michelson, for that amazing opening. And I'd like to thank Chancellor Jean Block and Tess Banco for those amazing speeches. Thank you, UCLA, for giving me the platform to speak. And thank you for everyone attending this ceremony today. So my name is Zishan Parvez. I serve with the United States Marine Corps Marine Special Operations Command, where I specialized in unconventional warfare and foreign internal defense. I served for 4 years, deployed to Pakistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. So what does Veterans Day mean to me? Veterans Day is more than just honoring veterans and saying thank you for your service. To me, it is about truly appreciating those actions that have preserved the American way of life. It is about bringing together the community around veterans and assimilating those who feel left out back in. It is about understanding the context of their journey that led to their destination, and to do this, we must ask for their story. So I'd like to share with you today my story, and I thank you for listening in advance. One of the largest problems veterans face today is their reintegration back into society after service. It is tough. No one can prepare you for it. Coming from a special operations background, I thought it was going to be a piece of cake. I've adapted to some of the harshest conditions known to man. Surely I can adapt to this. At least that was my thought process going into it. But man, was I wrong. It was tough, extremely tough. One moment, I'm in the passenger seat of an unarmored Toyota Hilux with an M4A1 locked and loaded, driving down the shady road with every possible question running through my head. What will happen if we're attacked? Will this unarmored Toyota provide any protection? And what if they hit us with an ID? Hell, what if they hit us with 2? And is today the day I go? And the next moment, I'm sitting next to an 18-year-old kid who thinks the world is going to end because he scored low on the first midterm of the semester. And the question that is running through my head at this point is this for real? Apparently, it is on the other side. As you can see, we may have well have been from different planets. I tried very hard to find common ground with my peers, but the gap was far too great. The more I tried to close this gap between my classmates, the further I displaced myself from the man that I once was. I was in a dark place, going through the motions, isolated and abandoned. And I know many veterans who feel this way today. But in my case, I was extremely lucky. I found myself in the most unlikely of places, in the realm of extreme sports. It was not until I picked up skydiving and today base jumping did I start to dig myself out of that hole and start living the life that was true to me. My old life was extreme in nature. And it wasn't until I found a new comparable extreme that I truly bridged the gap from the past to who I was today. This allowed me to assimilate into various communities. A great man and my base jumping mentor, Matt Blank, once told me, "You either live a genuine life that is true to who you are or you don't. And the genuine life that us veterans live has been molded by our time in service. And it is impossible to break away from this. And this genuine life sometimes does not fit the local community. I know what it's like to be on the outside. I know what it's like to be lost, abandoned, and alone. And I know it doesn't get better unless you find yourself. I was lucky in that I found myself through extreme sports. Some find themselves in other ways, and some never do. And I had too many friends in the latter. So what does Veterans Day mean to me? It's about bringing together the community around veterans and assimilating those, like myself, back into the community. It is about understanding our journey to understand our destination. My story is just one. There are millions more out there, all distinct in their own right. So, it is my challenge to you for Veterans Day to go out and instead of thanking a veteran for his or her service, ask what they did. Ask where they traveled to. And ask those questions that will allow them to open up to you. I promise this will go further than any amount of thanking will ever do. Thank you for your time.